Welcome to the Plant Grow REAP podcast.
Welcome to the Plant Grow REAP podcast. My name is Zoe and I'm the Accounting Operations Manager here at Aintree Group. Today I'm sitting with three of Aintree Group's youngest team members, Kane, Nick and Alannah, to chat about what it's really like entering the corporate world for the first time. From first day nerves to unexpected lessons, they'll share honest experiences, what surprised them most, and the advice they wish they had received before they started. Thank you all so much for joining me. I have to say I feel very ancient in this room with three of Aintree Group's youngest team members.
We actually are. That is.
Yeah.
It is the three of us.
Yeah, it's
So crazy.
I feel so old. But I'm really excited to hear all about your experiences in the corporate world and your corporate life so far. So let's start very beginning. Would you like to introduce yourselves and what you do here at Aintree?
So my name is Alannah. I am the Leadership, People and Culture Operations Coordinator. So I am working in our People and Culture team. So I'm involved in stuff with that. And then I'm also managing a few of like the firm-wide projects going on. So some of our new software integrations and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. I've only moved into this role for the last six months.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. And before that, I was just like a team assistant. So just doing everything and anything.
How long did you do that for?
It was probably about 9 months.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I've just had my 1 year anniversary. So I think I was a team assistant for about 6 months. Then probably now I've been in this role for about 6 months as well.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yep. So my name's Nick and I'm an operations coordinator here at Aintree Group. So basically that involves keeping the office running on a day-to-day basis and then also doing some administrative tasks to help out the accounting team as well. So yeah, that's pretty much my role. I've been here for about 4 months now and yeah, it's my first kind of role in an office corporate environment. So yeah.
Nice. Me too. My name's Kane. I'm the marketing operations coordinator. I've been here for almost 2 years now. This is my first ever corporate job, and I kind of just do like Nick's job but in marketing. So I'm doing like all the admin stuff, and I also edit all of these podcasts. So to our audience, if you're watching any of these episodes, that was me.
It's you in the background.
Yeah, cool.
So first corporate job for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Very exciting. Not for me, but that's fine.
Was the second corporate job?
Oh, no, I've had a few.
Okay, cool.
In a good way, but, you know, we can talk about that later, but I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about all of you. So thinking back, what was your first day or first week like, and what surprised you, if anything, about the corporate life?
Oh God, I was terrified on my first week. Because I've never been in any environment like this. I was so nervous. I remember I was like, oh my God, what am I going to say to
It is
people?
really strange.
Yeah, and I was like rehearsing things to be like, hi, I'm Alannah. How are you?
Is it because you wanted to look like professional?
And wanting to
or-
fit in. I
Yeah.
think being younger and going into an environment where you're obviously surrounded by people who have been working here for a while, you've got that kind of pressure on yourself, or at least I did, to fit in and act mature and not kind of have my age put me in a back seat of like, oh, they're young. I was like, I don't want to feel young. So I think I was just nervous of feeling like I was going to fit in and be not on the younger side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it is hard being young sometimes coming into an environment like
It's
this.
scary.
It's scary, particularly if you've not done it before.
Yeah. Did you also buy new clothes?
yes.
Because that was like the first thing I did when I
Yeah.
found out I got the job. I was like, cool, I need clothes.
Yeah. I raided my friend's closet and then I bought new stuff because I was like, I have to look nice.
I think it can be interesting because people who may have been at a job for a little while see newcomers and they're like, okay, well, what are they going to bring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they going to be great workers, or do we have to, you know, make concessions for them? Like, what's it going to be? So I understand coming in, you're not sure how to operate
Yeah.
or how that professionalism works
Yeah.
because you feel like there are so many eyes on you and you want to make such a good impression.
Yes.
It's confusing.
It is confusing.
It's also stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you guys? What surprised you the
Sure.
most?
I think I had my first week most recently at anyone here. So I think it's just the unknown, to be honest. Like not being in the office environment before, not knowing how it kind of works. But then you do find as you get into it, you do get used to it pretty quickly. But yeah, the first week is definitely quite scary in terms of having a lot to get used to and get your head around, for sure.
Yeah. I think you go.
I was just going to say, I feel like I didn't have that experience at all. Like mine wasn't terrifying, but that's nothing to do with me. It's because my first week was culture week. So I came in and we're like doing egg and spoon races and like
wow,
playing around and stuff. And they're like,
great.
they're like, you can get free coffee and have as much of that as you want. And
Yeah.
I was like, I still do it, but I just remember the innovation of like them having toast for me to make and coffee for me to make and then doing some interesting like activity throughout the day. It was like really cool.
It would have been really different coming in on Culture Week.
But it was we won as well.
Yeah.
Like we did like an all rounder around the office, and there was like an egg and spoon race and like a balloon popping room, and I was with Nadia and Peter and James, and it was terrifying, but we had so much fun.
You're with all the adults, like all of the.
I was
Directors.
17.
Yeah.
I was 17. There's a photo of me if you go to the like client kitchen, you look to the right, there's one of me, Peter, James, and Nadia. That's me like first day.
Young.
Like first week.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and what's kind of interesting as well, you mentioned like they've got food for you to make and they've got coffee. That's not everywhere you go.
No.
Like we're very lucky here.
I've heard since
Yeah.
of like speaking to my other friends who have recently like gone into like corporate jobs as well, that I've been like, oh yeah, we have like all these different milk and cereal and bread and everything. And they're like, oh my God, like what? Like, wow, you have it lucky.
Yeah, it really does differ.
Yeah.
So I want to preface this by saying we're very lucky here at Aintree because I don't know anywhere else I've worked that has had the same level of provisions basically in terms of that. So you kind of all mentioned it a little bit, but what have been your biggest challenges to overcome in the corporate?
Do you mean like starting out in corporate? Like
Yeah,
like
or just
in the years that we've been here?
In the years that you've been here, like what's been challenging about being in an office life?
Yeah.
Is it, I can give some examples. Is it communication? Is it relationships? Is it, trying to progress, professional development? Like, is there something that sticks out that you're like, this is really difficult?
I can say one right off the bat. I think it was sitting down for as long as I am.
Which
is one that I really struggled with.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I wasn't the type of person to sit down at a desk for 7 hours a day.
It's a real shock to the
Definitely.
system.
Definitely.
When you're on your feet, like if you're in retail or hospitality, which are generally, some of the jobs that you come into corporate life from, you're on your feet for 10, 12.
change.
Yeah.
It's the complete opposite. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So that was my probably
Yeah.
biggest
I
challenge.
think I'm on the same page because I work outside of here. I work in like the film industry, and we're always like moving, and it's so fast paced. And here it's like my job for the day is to sit down behind my desk for 7.5 hours and just edit or just do admin stuff.
Yeah.
And the occasional get up and do stuff, and it's like,
It's so
it's a
different.
completely
Yeah.
different environment. I think my
never-
legs forget they're supposed to walk.
Yeah. I never wore glasses until I started working in an office.
Like
Because
prescription.
Because
Oh,
I'm
no.
staring at a computer
You should.
or a
They
laptop.
blue
I started
that as
wearing
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I started
in,
again too.
in retail, never had to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after a few years, which isn't a bad thing, but yeah, it's a big change to the system.
It is.
Big
Definitely.
shock.
I'm trying to think if
Well, I know-
Big
have a
challenge.
specific
I know
challenge.
with Nick, because you're all sort of part-time here.
Yeah.
Like you're here 3 or 4 days a week.
Yep.
Nick did his first full week a couple of weeks ago after only working
that feel?
3
How
days.
I
was
felt
it?
that. That was
Oh.
that was a lot
That
of sitting
Friday
there.
would have been amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, walking out of the office,
You
but
get
no,
home
it
and
was,
just laid.
I just did nothing.
did nothing.
Just
Go to
recovered.
Port Douglas the week
And
after.
then the week
so
after, I had a big break.
but
sadly.
even that, even the transition from working 2 days or 3 days to full time.
Oh, it's a big
Massive.
transition.
I made the jump at the start of this year when I moved into my new role, and I was doing 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
Probably for like since I started, and
Yeah.
then I finished uni, and I was like, all right, it's time to make the leap. And I went from 2 to 4, and the adjustment, it took me, I would say, probably 2 months for
Yep.
my body to like adjust to a new routine of
Yep.
being in the office, sitting at a desk for 7.5 hours, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And I've got one day, which I'm completely opposite, and I'm a swimming instructor,
Yeah.
which is so different.
Yeah.
And that one day, I'm like, it's nice to have the break. And
Do you find that there are times on that one day where you are instructing where you're like, God, I wish I could just like be sitting at a desk right now?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
There are moments where
Yeah.
I might be, I don't know, I teach in the water. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could just be at my desk
Just be
right now.
dry.
Yeah,
Yep.
and be dry and not wet and have little screaming kids around me.
Yeah.
So sometimes.
The good thing about, I think, a desk and a computer is that you can lock in
Yes.
and
sure.
get stuff done. Like
Mhm.
in retail, things can, hospitality, kind of just doing what needs to be done. But I love having something where you can just lock in and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But any, like, have you had moments of like, I've got this now? I can tell you, just on my
Yeah.
experience doing this for a long time, I don't know if you ever really feel like you've got it. Like it takes, you can be settled and you can be confident in your role and your capabilities, but I don't think there's ever a day. And honestly, I don't think I want there to be a day where I'm like, I've totally got this role or I've got this.
Yeah. I think I worked for extra days for a couple weeks during a uni break. It was either like late last year or early last year. And I remember doing the more days and my body kind of adjusting to the like routine and whatnot. I felt like I really was there and I felt like, okay, this is like doable and my body's not going to shut down and I'm, I'm enjoying myself. And then I got I landed another film job the week after and I took the week off and I went and did that for 7 days. And I was like, I'm not meant for a desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like a big culture shock working in 2 different jobs. I'm sure you get similar experiences.
Yeah. I do actually think I had a moment probably just before I left. I just got back from Europe. So before I left,
Not to flex or anything.
not to put it out there, but before I left, I kind of had a few projects that all kind of came to a head. And I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'm actually on top of all of kind of what's happening right now. And I think that was the first moment that I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I've got this. If things go wrong, we can figure it out. And I think that was my first moment that I kind of felt like I was like, okay.
You kind of seen all the
can-
hard
yeah.
work come
That's-
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel when I clear my triage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fully empty. I'm like, yes.
And
Clear
could
triage is the
yeah.
best.
Even something, I'm not even diminishing that, like that itself is
It
massive.
feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emails don't stop.
Yeah.
No.
So when you can get them down to a manageable number, it is
Feels
amazing.
great.
Yeah. What about you?
I think even for me, it's a pretty simple one, but like getting my head around all the softwares that we use, when I fully understood how to use them,
That was your moment.
yeah, I think so. Like it made me feel like I can do the majority of things that come at me. And obviously there's going to be new things, but you want that. Like you kind of want to be challenged
Yeah.
in your role
Yeah.
to keep it interesting. So
You want to have confidence in yourself to be able to perform the role that you've been hired to do.
definitely.
But you don't want it to be the same mundane thing every single day.
Exactly.
You want there to be challenges.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, not out of reach.
Not
But
out of reach.
Consistency's nice, but there's also just a little.
You just
push
don't want to
is
get
fine
stuck into
sometimes. Of course.
a routine that you're just like
Yeah.
the same thing churning out every day.
definitely.
It's nice to have some challenges thrown in. You don't always need challenges and they don't need to be crazy, but it's good to have, something that kind of just
Spices
switches
it
you.
up.
Yeah, spices it up, puts another gear onto it. So, yeah. What is something that people often get wrong about corporate life, do you think?
Can I speak for myself?
Of course. No, speak
I-
for everyone.
Read my mind.
I'll try, guys. I expected it to be like, so this is work. We work here. We do our corporate 9 to 5 job.
Mhm.
We're in accounting And I walked into it being like, okay, I'm just gonna have to do my work. That is how corporate jobs work.
And then you figured out you don't have to actually do any work.
Well,
that-
no, I
is that what that's
figured out that like people build relationships and have fun and, you know, collaborate on stuff, which I also didn't expect the amount of collaboration to happen. Obviously, it's different in, you know, different places and different jobs, but I kind of had this perceived,
Yeah, like perceived notion. that
yeah,
it's-
perceived notion that it was going to be this really kind of isolating, you do your work, you get here, you go home.
Mhm.
That's a corporate life.
Yeah.
But it's really not. And I'm happily surprised by that, thank God, because I don't work well like that.
No.
Mm.
So,
I think relationships and communications within a business or a company are just as important as like the technical
Yeah.
side of things.
Yeah,
Like,
you can be great
Totally.
at your job, but if you're really awful or really
Yeah.
cold person, then
Yeah.
it's not really a good environment.
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
How about you?
I was going to say mine's the exact same as Alannah's. I think before like being exposed to an office environment, you think it's more like how you see it in movies and TV shows where there's like the cubicles and everyone's kind of zoned off from each other.
Yeah.
Like The Incredibles.
Yeah, sort of like that actually. But no, it's like it's a big surprise to think that like there's a lot of collaboration, a lot of communication that goes on. And it does make it a much better environment to work in. And it's kind of shown me that the people you work with have a big impact on how
yeah.
So
much you enjoy
important.
what you're doing.
Well,
and-
you're spending so much time with them every day.
exactly.
You spend more time with, well, if you're doing like 5 days a week, you're on average spending more time with the people at work than you would
Yeah.
anyone at home.
Yeah.
exactly.
I am still very close with some of my former colleagues because you form those relationships.
Definitely.
And I don't want to say it's like bonded trauma or whatever, but you know, like you form such a close working relationship and it's just spilled into like a friendship.
Yeah.
And so I still have like some very close friends who I used to work with.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
How long have you worked in corporate for?
I'm going to say about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Different types as well. So I started in not-for-profit,
Yep.
which was very different. And funnily enough, they were probably ahead of the curve instead of in terms of working from home because we saw a big spike in working from home, obviously, during COVID
Yeah.
and post-COVID.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, I don't know if there are a lot of corporate offices that allowed that, but not-for-profit was one that was pretty early on.
Wow.
Yeah, yep.
It would have been interesting going into the corporate world and having them.
Oh, it was
be,
hot, it was hot
progressive with
desking
that.
as well.
Oh,
Have you ever done hot desking?
I really don't like the
I
thing
don't
That
about
when you
desking.
don't have your own
Yeah,
desk.
You just go wherever you want.
Yeah.
Or-
So it's meant
You
to
guys
like,
do that anyway. You guys just appear in the pods over
You
here.
do.
We do, but that's because we come to like badger people and be like,
Yes.
we need help.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't imagine not having my own desk.
Yeah.
it's good to interact, you know, if you've got
Yeah.
different, but imagine us going into like AGL and just sitting next to like
Weird.
Yeah.
Sammy or
Oh, there are
Yeah.
times when I can see, like, I've done podcast stuff. Like, I edited a podcast a couple of weeks ago that was like a legal one, and there were times when I had to walk up from my desk and go all the way over to legal to ask about
yeah.
like stuff that was discussed in the podcast to make sure that it was sound and that I wasn't like there was no
Yeah.
misinformation and
Yeah.
it looked, you know, correct, and we did. There was not a bad thing said, but it was like I had to triple check, and like the back and forth between talking to people over Teams and then going over to the desks and then them being busy and whatnot. If I could just be sitting next to one of them and then I see that they're not busy and just go,
Yeah.
hey, just real quick, like
Mhm.
I can imagine that would be
Question.
like 10 times better.
Yeah. But
I
you
think
don't-
that's the difference with like, because most of the ops team is down one side of the office, and then there's me and Ali who are
Yeah, which is
all the way down the other side because we're down where like Andrew and Shane sit. And
which makes sense.
I find it frustrating on days where I'm like doing work that's involved with the ops team. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to move down there because
wonder
I
if-
spend
Yeah.
all day walking up and down the runway. I'm just
that's how I get my
Yeah.
steps in.
yeah, literally
That's how I do it.
so
I
many
wonder if
times.
they'd ever throw the ops team down that end.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. I like where I sit.
Yeah, you can you can swap offices.
Yeah,
you can have
maybe.
Pauls.
Yeah.
Paul can come down here.
Yep. How about you, Kane? Anything that you think people get completely wrong about corporate life?
Oh,
Or-
I think Well, obviously, like I can agree with you guys, but I also think that people think that it can be easy. So like coming from two different worlds where like the film stuff is very hands-on and very physically demanding. There's also the corporate stuff can be really quite like draining, like
Yeah.
through your brain,
Yeah.
like having to consistently think and
Mhm.
come up with ideas, especially like I'm in a more creative part of the corporate environment doing marketing and whatnot. Always coming up with ideas, having to like brainstorm things, having to go through edits and waves of reviews and stuff like that. It can get quite mentally
Yeah,
exhausting.
mental exhaustion's as bigger part of any role in corporate
I
than
can
the physical.
I can confidently say that sometimes I'm more tired after a working week in corporate than I am a week on set.
Yeah.
Like I've done days here, just one day, where I come home and I'm so tired, and then I'll go and do like a 13, 14-hour job and I feel completely fine.
Yeah. It's just the different energy that I think it takes of
Mm.
like
Yeah.
physical energy and momentum compared to mental energy. You get exhausted a lot faster because it's just so constant and you can't switch off your brain.
Mhm.
You have to be on because that's what
But
the
you
job
can
is.
rest your body. You
Yeah.
gotta sit
Yeah.
down for 5 minutes
Yeah.
and recuperate.
Yeah.
Particularly in a leadership role,
Mm,
when people are coming to you with question after question and you have that mental load of just having to answer, it can take a toll.
You should
for
get
sure.
one of the signs that Chelsea has on her door. Do you
Yeah.
have one?
No, I just
We'll get you
close
one.
my door and people know that I'm
You're
doing-
locking in.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
locking in.
So,
My team are pretty good. They don't generally bother me if my door's closed.
you saying that because he's right.
Yeah. No, I see them sort of stand up and just look and go, okay,
She free.
is she free? And then I'll just give them a little, come on in. Or
It's like me from the other side of the office. I like stand up and I
You
look
look
and
all
I'm
the way
like,
down.
like, oh yes, the
I
door's
feel like-
open.
I feel like people could spot me from a mile away now.
they
Yeah,
come
we
out.
don't
Morgan
care.
like tracked me down today, and I was like, "How did she know where I was?"
Yeah. You're
I
like a
look like a
little,
torch.
like a little lighthouse.
Yeah, I
They
know.
just like see you.
But it works. It works for
Hey,
you.
I'll never be
I like
inconspicuous
it.
ever again.
No.
Nope.
Do you want
I
to
think
be?
it's fun.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Aintree, how have they helped you grow, you guys? How have they professionally, personally, emotionally,
My facial hair's come through in the past 2 years.
physically? Yeah, I've got like these crows. I'm kidding.
yeah, my eye bags are getting really intense.
Oh, that is so funny.
I love this because it's a bit of reflection. I
Yeah.
do love a bit of self-reflection because sometimes you don't have the opportunity to do it until you get asked to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Until I nag you to come in
Yeah.
here on a random Thursday afternoon. So
You didn't nag
Glad
me.
to
I
be
was like,
here.
I want to
yeah,
be
you
in
were
another
keen.
podcast.
I had to drag these two.
I think in a lot of ways, I think when I came and started at Aintree, I wasn't as confident in myself. I think I had a very loud and bubbly personality, and I think I've always been like that. But I think when it comes down to genuine confidence in like work I'm doing or trusting myself and my judgment and things like that, I didn't have that. I would constantly all day be like, Ali, can you read this before I send it to a client? Or can you double check before I do this? Because I just didn't have that level of confidence to trust myself and be like, no, this is a good email. You can send this. That I think that of just trusting my judgment and my interpretation of situations that I've been in and I've grown from, I think Aintree has really helped with of, just having that kind of trust in myself that I can write an email and I know how to be professional and I know how to be kind and like interpret situations and have that awareness that I think I didn't have that confidence when I started. And I think that grows with being put in situations and environments where you have to kind of grow it. But I think that was a big thing. And just like, overall confidence and stuff like that.
I agree entirely.
Yeah.
I think I could say the exact same thing. I came in, I've like always been very outright like confident and loud and bubbly, but I have such a lack of assurance when I think the corporate environment doesn't help because we're dealing with clients that are long-standing clients that have been with these guys before we were even in high school, and it's
Yeah.
like it can be quite daunting.
Yeah.
This company was founded the same year we were born.
Mhm.
Oh my
So,
God. Wow.
There are clients
Yeah.
like
as old as
older
you.
than as old as us. So it's like when you're sending these emails, there can be times when it's quite jarring. But I think I've also learned to just kind of trust myself and go, you know what, I've spent literally 30 minutes staring at this email and I haven't found a single thing I don't like, but I just don't have the confidence. I'll just send it.
I know.
And we have so many resources to help us with stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
we're
and
very
managers too.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so
promise-
many people to ask, but it's
Yeah.
just that getting over the line of like, I don't need to ask.
It's
I
completely
can
mental
send it.
too.
Yeah.
The longer you are in a role or the longer you spend at a certain place, like your empowerment, you'll become
Yeah,
much more empowered. I think,
empowerment. I like
think
that.
Aintree is very good at harboring that
Yeah.
empowerment.
Yeah.
And I promise you, the older you get and the more experiences you have, it gets easier.
Yeah.
You have so much trust in yourself and your capabilities that you'll sit there in 10 years and go, oh my gosh, 10 years ago I couldn't even send this email. And
Yep.
now I'm sending 2 or 3 a day.
We got time.
Just like it.
Yeah. No, I think
don't rush.
I agree entirely. I think second guessing myself when I started in terms of what you guys were saying with the emails, like reading it over 100 times before you send it. I think it actually comes a lot from we're doing work for clients, but like all the work we've done before this at like uni and stuff like that, you're doing work for yourself, so you kind of don't second guess yourself as much. But yeah, definitely as I go along.
Sure.
Do you think
kind of
it
getting
would
used to
be helpful for people who, even in high school or uni, where there's something that sets you up a little bit better for...
I think
Definitely.
we do have those systems in place. I
Yep.
think it's just about how much we take initiative to like learn how
Yeah.
that stuff works. Because like we all have experience emailing people. I'm sure that through high school you guys emailed teachers
Yeah.
about exams or
Yep.
about assessments and like it's stuff that we do. I was emailing people in primary school. I was emailing. I won't. We'll leave that story. It's like totally doable and it's something we learned from it. Especially our generation. I had an iPad at 12.
Yeah.
So I've been knowing how to email. But it's more just I think like you mentioned, it's the clients. It's the fact that there are other people on the end.
other
like
stakeholders.
you talk to a stakeholder is the perfect word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You talk to a teacher or a lecturer, it's like they can't really give you slack for sending. I say sup in my emails to my lecturers, and I
And you
like
also have a relationship.
yeah,
with them.
exactly. Well, they're like
clients,
they're
we
meant.
might not
yeah.
have ever met. We
I
don't know them, their
haven't met any
personality.
of the clients yet.
Yeah.
Maybe 20
Yep.
total.
Yep.
And there are a couple clients that I've had several conversations with that I would be fine to email.
Yeah.
But a majority, it definitely
Yeah.
like I get
Because I think it is that aspect of you're someone on one side of an email and there's someone on the other side that you, in, our roles where we're newer and younger, you haven't met a lot of people. And it's scary to just send a message that you don't know what tone they normally like.
Yeah,
They might have a
exactly,
preferred name, a
exactly.
nickname that they prefer. Like so many clients have one name, but then everyone calls them something else. And it's things like that that I think at the start, I would always second guess of, oh my God, like, is this right? Can I call them this or blah, 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 blah. That I think grows just over time. You can't really teach it. I think young kids, which is the hard thing.
But that, I guess, goes back to those relationships and building on that, not just internally, but the external stakeholders and how important is as important as the technical skills.
100%.
So do you think that those interactions are something that have become easier as you've settled in?
100%.
Yeah. And can they be
100%.
easily taught, or is it?
For sure.
I think it's more from doing, to be honest. Like you
Yeah,
can't
I
really
was gonna
teach
say.
an interaction with another person at the end of the day. So yeah, the more
you have to make someone do
And
it.
exactly you have to
Best
talk.
thing, and I've seen you as well, is getting put on the phones.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate the phone.
I know I hated them too.
Yeah.
I hated them. They were terrifying. But Ali, one day, she just turned around and she was like, yep,
Phones?
you're getting on the phones today. And I was like, no, I'm not. I am not getting on the phones. And she's
Sophie
like,
did
yes,
that
you
to me.
are.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
helps with
That's what helps.
coming up with stuff super quick
Yep.
and thinking on your feet.
Mhm.
And there's also nothing wrong with saying, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
just going
that's
to
what
pop you
people
on
forget.
hold.
Yeah.
I'm just going to find out
Yep.
for you. There's actually nothing wrong with that. And I
Yeah,
think
or transferring it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
think I've noticed the both of us in like obviously I wasn't here when you started,
Mm.
but when I started getting put on the phones and then I've seen you start and get put on the phones and I can see that it also has grown your confidence as well in situations
Definitely.
that I think it was a big thing of kind of getting us there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because when you answer the phone, you don't know who's calling. You don't know why they're calling. So it does expose you to a lot of different scenarios that
Yeah.
obviously is a big part of development
Yeah.
professionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the phones.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I still don't love
Sophie
them.
used
Yeah.
to just like throw me in the deep end.
Yeah.
When we were working together, she was like, I don't want to take this one, it's yours. I'm like, I don't want to do it. And then I
love
yeah,
me so. Love you so.
yeah, me so too.
Yeah, as someone who has been in those positions before, I'm not the type to just throw someone into the deep end. I can't
I
do
think
it.
it works though.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
as much as I hate that she used to do that, if she had have asked me to go on the phones as compared to telling me,
Yep.
I wouldn't have done it.
Mm.
I think I do, and Nick, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I give them a time frame. I say I want you to just develop your knowledge a little bit, and then we can one thing at a time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because there is so much, depends on the role, but there can be so much to it that if you're throwing in then having to deal with clients as well,
Mm.
it can just really, maybe just not great for development.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And sort of hinder that a little bit.
No.
So, yeah.
I think from a manager's perspective, I
For
think
sure.
you just have to look at who the
the
person,
person
is.
For sure.
And I think Ali, obviously, we had been working together. She was my manager for
Yep.
a few months, not
Yep.
months, no, maybe a couple of months at that point. And I think she knew me well enough to say, you can handle this, you just need the push.
Yeah.
But I think if there was someone who kind of showed that potentially like ways of they didn't learn like that or they didn't want to do things like that, they liked the process of getting an idea first and then slowly easing into it. I think that's just
Yeah.
up to personal
Yeah.
opinion and choice.
So-
It's preference, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking about leadership and colleagues, what are there any particular roles that managers or colleagues have played in helping you settle into your role?
Mm.
Is it
Into the role or into like the corporate environment?
both?
Oh, definitely. Well, we spoke about relationships before and how important that is in the corporate environment. So, managers use Zoe as well since we started. Just massive in terms of helping me settle in and feel comfortable coming into the corporate world. But heaps of other people as well, like the whole team kind of really help you settle in, and everyone here is so
Yeah.
lovely in kind of being able, like making themselves available to answer questions
Yeah.
and kind of, ease your nerves
Yeah.
around certain tasks and
It's
stuff
really
like
not
that.
as scary as you think,
Mm.
because people are here to
Yeah.
help and develop,
Yeah.
and we're all a team. So
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing that I think I felt like everyone had the time of day for me.
Mhm.
And I think that really helped
Oh, definitely.
to feel settled and like I could do my job. Was that if I asked someone, hey, could I have a quick chat with you? They'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Or I have a meeting now, but after I'll come find you.
Mhm.
I think it was really nice that everyone made you feel really not appreciated, but like,
well, they were just welcome.
welcoming. And like they wanted to give you their time.
Yeah,
It
and
was nice.
I think that's a culture thing, and will not every place is like
Yeah.
this.
Mm.
I have to
course.
say,
Yeah.
not everyone at every corporate job or every role, wherever it might be, is willing to take the time and go through something with you or answer your questions.
Yeah. Very
So
lucky.
learn as much as you can whilst you have that help, because I don't want to like scare you, but it
be
may
different.
not. It could be
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. It does make you so grateful to like start working in a place that's so welcoming and stuff like that. Because I couldn't imagine having started in a place where I couldn't ask questions or
Yeah.
didn't feel comfortable to.
Yeah.
It would take you so much longer to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
definitely.
I'm the same. I agree. I think there's definitely like people like the managerial team, especially like my original team in ops. Like when I first came, and I had Amy as my manager and Sophie as my coworker. Like they're both just really bright, like warm people, and coming into it for the first time, coming from like very like high pressure running around jobs, and I think they catered to that really well. Like I think Amy saw how much energy I had as like just like a little young buck, like ready to run around and do stuff. And she would give me more of the ops roles that were like physically demanding as compared to intellectually demanding, like, you know, stocking stuff and going and doing the grocery orders and like etc. And I think that like the mail runs. Do we still do the mail runs?
Yep.
I haven't. Oh, I'm so out of the ops.
I know you're not.
I'm so
you're not
out
of
now.
our
I don't.
little-
I don't know what's going on.
You come back in every now and again.
Yeah, I
and
helped
ask
a
you
little
to-
bit today.
Yeah.
I turned the printer on and off.
Yeah.
That's,
And I'll ask you help with some things every now and
I don't
again.
mind.
But yeah, you're part of
It's
the marketing
annoying.
team now. So
but yeah. Anyway, it's just I think everyone here has an open mind, or a lot of the people here have an open mind, and it's very easy to kind of find where you fit in your role and how you
Yeah.
can be the best at your role when you've got people who have those open
Yeah.
minds. Like even Chelsea, she knows that sometimes I need to not be sitting at my desk. So there are little jobs around the office that I'll get
Yep.
given that it'll be like printing out some marketing stuff, or like
Yep.
doing one of my weekly items is going and checking to see if the posters we have around the office are up to date, and stuff like that is stuff that I can just say for if I need to get up and just walk,
Yeah.
and it
You
helps.
can. Yeah.
Yeah.
have you had that sort of flexibility in leadership at your previous roles, or was it very strict?
I think I came from Coles. If we're talking like jobs as compared to the film stuff, I came from Coles, and it was like I would want to be in one area of service, or I'd want to be in another area, and I think they were kind of accommodating, but to an extent where they also weren't. There were times when like it took me so long working at Coles to finally be trusted enough to be in self-checkout.
Yeah.
And then when I was in self-checkout, every time they'd pull me out of it, I'd like hate it. And then it got to a point where I hated self-checkout. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't want to go back to the scanning, but I also don't want to be in self-checkout. And then I went to dairy, and then I tried, you know, I think it was accommodating, but to an extent of like,
Still
never
within
really-
what they wanted.
yeah, it wasn't this is what you need to be the best at
Yeah.
your job. How can we help you get there?
Yeah.
It was more like, oh, you want to do this? I guess we can do that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It wasn't. Yeah, there was no
Yeah.
care to
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
It was more
I
just
don't
like
really
a,
have anything to compare it to. I worked at Baker's Delight before
oh
this.
hell yeah.
It was great. I loved it. I don't really there's not much to say. I moved up, I was like a little junior, then I became a senior, and I ran that place sometimes. But I loved it. It was a great job. But it's nothing compared to this. There's not much to compare to. It was just a general job.
I felt like that at Macca's. I actually really liked working at Macca's.
Loved
I started
it.
it.
So fun.
Started at front and then went to like grill.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun. We were in the middle of. Do you remember the Vic Gardens Macca's that they used to have?
Yes.
Did you ever get that?
No, not big.
No,
names.
it's like it was like on the edge of the food court, and no one was there, and no one would come. So I'd do like one burger an hour.
Wow.
And it was just like listening to music and talking and for hours and getting paid, and it was dope.
I think in terms of casual roles, I worked hospo, so I could one shift be waitering, one shift be helping out in the kitchen, cooking food. So I'd come across a lot of different managers. So that's one thing that's kind of different. You had a lot of different people managing you, and
Very
each person had a different way of managing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously very different work, but you could find that one shift would be a lot better than the other. Because you'd have a manager who kind of
understands you a bit more.
yeah, and then another shift you'd have a manager who just tells you to do something,
Yeah.
and doesn't really care for you.
True.
So yeah, that's kind of how I found it. But that was obviously a casual role, so they probably have to be a bit more.
Yeah.
That is a
Bit
nice
more
thing
like that.
about corporate, though. It's you've got one manager until
Yeah.
like obviously people move on from
Yeah.
their jobs and whatnot. But for the most part, you get to build that relationship and you get to understand. I'm sure you have much to say on this, but you understand how your employees work and where they thrive compared to where they don't. And
Yeah. Because you've got the time to sit and talk and develop that relationship and develop, I guess, a plan for how you want to approach things, how that relationship works. So you don't tend to have that as much in retail or hospitality. It's
Yeah,
kind of
definitely not.
just do what I say.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
In a corporate, particularly if you're wanting to progress in career and all of that, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're younger too. I
Mm.
feel like I don't know if you guys can speak to this, but I feel like when you're working from, because I got my first job at 15. When you're 15, they kind of just treat you however they want.
Yeah.
It's like, he's a kid, he doesn't know any better. Like,
Yeah.
we can kind of bust him around a little bit more. But
Yeah.
here, you're an adult.
Yeah.
Even when I was
Yeah.
17, I'm still, I'm on the verge. I think I started 2 days before my 18th, so it was like I wasn't far off.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot more courtesy around the fact that we are human beings and
Yeah.
not just like robots.
But also
Yeah.
being
Definitely.
treated like an equal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think was a big thing I was nervous for going into. And I spoke
You
about
were
it, like,
nervous about that?
well, I was nervous of not being treated like an
Oh,
equal.
sure.
I was nervous that my age would make me get treated more like,
Sure.
oh, like you're new, you're young.
Which would have
like,
come
blah,
from
blah,
personal
blah.
experience.
Yeah. Whereas I think that was one of the like really great things about here is that you do feel a lot more like an equal. Like I'm working with people who might be 10 years older than me. However, we're both on the same level. We're
Yeah.
both doing our jobs, whatever that is.
Mhm.
It's not them having more authority or anything, and me not having that voice. I feel like we all do, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for somebody who is starting their first corporate job tomorrow,
Oh, God.
I know, what is the
Is this you? Are you starting your first one tomorrow?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I know, thank you. I worked really hard. What is a piece of advice that you would give them?
I think just be open minded. Just take everything in your stride.
Yeah.
Whatever comes at you, like you're going to be learning a lot. There'll be a lot of unknowns. But as long as you're open minded and you're willing to work, you'll learn pretty quickly and get used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that. I was going to say take the pressure off.
Mm.
Take it off. There's no need for it. If you're curious and you want to learn, you'll be fine.
Yep.
I think it's my biggest thing.
Mm.
Agreed. I think just talk to everyone
Yeah.
is my shtick. I think once you break down the walls and the expectations that you have around the people around you, like we were saying before, the people are a big part of what make the environment.
Mhm.
If I come inside the office and I hadn't have spoken to Amy and I hadn't have spoken to Sophie and I hadn't even had any of the Chantel, the people that I started with, if I hadn't have talked to them my first day and tried to get to know them, let alone like Culture Week, the conversations I was able to have through Culture Week, everyone would just be a coworker.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know them. I think gathering personal experience and understanding people and their hobbies and their interests and when they go to Europe and flex it on everyone, stuff like that. It's really important because it stops them from just being another email and it becomes a person.
Yep.
Mm.
So
Agreed.
real.
I
Yeah.
would say as someone who has such high expectations of themselves,
Mm.
just don't.
Yep.
As easy as
Yeah.
hard, as easy as that is to say, just don't.
Mm.
No one expects you to be, the best possible worker in that first week.
Especially day one.
Day one, I think it takes, honestly, 6 to 12 months.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to really feel
Yeah.
confident in
Yep.
in a role.
I've just hit 12 months and I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
I've only just really felt like
hitting your
confidence.
stride and
Yeah.
Do you know how many days I've done now?
At
I
Aintree.
just found the number today and it was
How
quite
many?
funny. 670.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Over how many years though? Like
2.
2 years.
Wow.
Couple of days. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Congrats.
670. That's such a nice
It's
number.
such an interesting number,
I
right?
love
And then
that.
tomorrow it'll be 670. No, you're not here tomorrow.
Sorry, what?
671 on Tuesday.
671.
Isn't that what it was?
670.
670.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we're talking? See, this is how old I am. Oh, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't get
Samuel
it.
is calling to me like the Green Goblin
I
mask.
told
know what I'm
you.
talking about.
Funny.
I'm so ancient. I'm so out of
You're
everything.
not,
I
you're
am,
not.
but
That
that's
was
okay.
funny.
But before we finish up, what has been your favourite part about working at Aintree Group?
I've got one off the bat.
Oh,
I mean, it's
please.
been
Yeah, go.
said a lot, but it's just the people, to be honest,
Yeah.
like the relationships you form. Because obviously work's work at the end of the day. Like you get your work done. But what you really enjoy the most is
Yeah.
the relationships you build, even just chats in the kitchen with people.
Yeah.
Like it makes the day more fun than if you're
Yeah.
just to be at home in your room. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
yeah. So that's definitely what I've enjoyed the most
Yeah.
since starting. Yeah.
I think mine would be the people, or if it wasn't that, I think my favorite thing would just be how much opportunity there is to get involved in things. And there's so much, like, so many learning opportunities in our master classes and our lunch and learns. And then there's book club and culture week and basketball teams. Like, we do volunteering. I think there's just so many activities that I wouldn't choose to be a part of in my everyday life, but because they're here and they're in front of me, I'm like, yeah, let's do
That's
it.
how I feel with the coffee machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I agree. I think it's as much as it would be easier to say either of those answers. I'm totally going to say either of those answers.
Yeah.
It's the people.
Yeah, definitely.
I think just like I have so many things that I do outside of here, and I get so much support from the people I've met here that do not owe me that kind of support.
Yeah.
There are people here who have come to my gigs, have watched like the projects I put out, stuff like that, and like will actively talk to me outside of work completely on their own accord, and like give me the love and the care around those projects and vice versa. And I think it's really important to know that the people that you're working around, the people that you're experiencing all of these things around, are people that actually care, and they're not just co-workers.
Yep.
Yeah.
People who see you and love that and
Exactly.
want to be a part of that outside of just work.
Yeah.
I think it's so good. I think we attract really good people here.
I think so too.
I think we've got a really good bunch of people.
Again, it's the culture, right? And
Yeah.
it's going to be different wherever you go,
Yeah.
but here's a pretty good one.
What's your favorite part about working here?
I'm going to be a little bit more egotistical. Egotistic?
Me.
Me.
Go.
My office.
Yeah, I love my office.
Is that actually it?
It's good, my office. No, I think the confidence. If I look at who I was, how long have I been here? 10 months? Look who I was 10 months ago and look who I am now.
I agree.
I'm like, wow.
I
Very
see that
different,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm just,
Has it really been 10 months?
yeah, I know.
How long have I been here?
12,
12 months,
13,
Right.
about 13.
Well,
67. I don't know. Is that a joke? Is that a good joke? No?
no, that's good.
I'll give you that.
Oh, yay. Thank you so much for joining me today and chatting about all things corporate life. It's very insightful. I've learnt a lot and I didn't know if I could learn more, and I have. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Plant, Grow, Reap. Whether you're preparing for your first corporate role, currently navigating those early career years, or simply interested in hearing what it's really like from those who've recently experienced it, we hope today's conversation gave you some valuable insight.
Thank you.
Amazing.
There you go.